Veronica, this is a moment that every agent dreams of, to see you finally being recognized for all of your hard work, all of your talent. Your movie, The Color Turquoise, is potentially going to be nominated for an Oscar, which means you could potentially win your first Oscar. We're just waiting for the Academy call. I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you, Veronica.
Me too. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, a nomination for an Oscar. This is just like so amazing, amazing.
Oh, that's the call. That's the call. It's the Academy. It's the Academy. Are you ready?
You know what? I have to go. It's time for SeeSwann Live.
Welcome to SeeSwann Live. I am Swann Christopher, your host, and I'm here for another Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern for a show by a working actor for the working actor. So if you're a working actor or aspire to be one, you found the right place to be. Today, on today's show, I got a very exciting show. First, I want to give a thank you to Frankie and Veronica, Miss Frankie and Miss Veronica, for that lovely open right there. That was wonderful. We're so proud of Veronica, hopefully getting that Oscar nomination. But I have an exciting show for you today. I've got a couple of flashbacks, actually. The first flashback I have today is a video I did back in 2013. It was a short film that I did with a couple of friends that we were kind of doing that thing, you know, making our own thing, making our own opportunities instead of waiting for them to come to us. So we're going to be talking to some friends, and we're going to take a look at that short as well. Also, later on in the program, if we have time to get to it, I have a self-tape audition that I did along with a little short, kind of artistic short that I did of myself. Just kind of like, it was an audition for, well, we'll talk about that later, but if we get to that. But of course, also, I have Noodle Booty with Miss Frankie Spear as well, and they're going to be doing some improv, and I promise, we will get to the improv today, okay? I promise Frankie a nice big segment. But as always, we also have our Cygnet, and once again this week I'm joined by Michelle. How you doing, Michelle?
Hello, everyone. How am I doing? I would say exceptionally well today. I'm happy to be here again.
Well, you look exceptionally well, and it's great to have you again.
Stop. You flatter me.
So you flatter me by just being here, and I'm not gonna lay it on any thicker, but that's definitely, it's the truth. So
as long as it's flattered and not flattened, we don't need any Judge Doom stuff going on here.
No, none of that.
As long as you're not trying to build a freeway over Toontown, then I think we're fine.
No, not gonna happen. And you know, I could see you in that film. Like, you would have been good in that film.
You think so?
It's good because you have the personality for that.
Is it any particular character that I think you might see in the red hair?
Maybe with a little more longer hair, yeah, maybe. I could see that. I could see that.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Absolutely. You are. You're awesome.
Thank you.
So thanks again for coming out this week.
You.
It's a pleasure to have you as always.
You're sweet. I appreciate it.
So what we got in the chat today?
Oh boy. So today's chat room challenge is in celebration of our upcoming holiday this weekend. We're celebrating Independence Day, 4th of July. Our chat room challenge today is change a movie title and make it patriotic. So for those of you who might be a little stumped like I was at first, here's an example, all right? Avengers Infinity War would become Avengers Revolutionary War. You see what we're going for over here? And as always, we're going to be competing for that free month of Talk to the Camera Pro workshops with Mr. Swann Christopher right over here by my side, as well as that $25 Amazon gift card. That's all.
Yes, that's what we have. And we also, how about the entertainment news story today? We got a special one today, don't we?
We do. I posted the link over in our Facebook live stream. YouTube wouldn't let me. It cut me off at a character limit. But if you want, you guys can check that out. Our question for the day is, should white actors be playing characters outside of their race. Recently, the voice actors behind Apu in The Simpsons and Cleveland in Family Guy, as well as The Cleveland Show, have stepped down from their roles because of everything going on in the world, and we want to know your thoughts. Do you think that race doesn't matter when it comes to the voice acting world, or does it? Does it play a part, you know? And we'll be sharing our thoughts on that as well, but we want to hear what you guys have to say.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to be talking about that. I'll tell you guys how I feel about it for sure. But what else do we got coming up? It's time to move on. So thank you, Michelle. I know you'll be in the chat room getting all of those answers for the chat room challenge, as well as seeing what people think about that news story. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So right now we are going to go. I need to change the graphic right now. See, there we go. Just like that. No, just like that. There we go. So it's time for SeeSwann flashback, and what that means is a video that is probably already on my YouTube channel in most cases. This one is definitely on my YouTube channel. It was made back in 2013. Like I said earlier, it was a little short film that was made with some friends of mine who I have a couple of them with me in the Zoom room, and we're gonna talk to them, but let's just watch the film now.
Mr. Aiden, you really need to pull yourself together.
Pull myself together.
If I could get something that belonged to her, a piece of clothing maybe.
What the hell is that gonna do?
Well, sometimes it helps.
What, you got bloodhounds or something?
Actually, I'm a psychic.
A psychic? Unbelievable.
Mr. Aiden, Jack, I understand this is very difficult for you, but I really can help find your wife. I can.
A psychic.
Couldn't hurt, right? Jack, now, a shirt? A shirt. Something she liked. Is your wife a brunette? Caucasian?
Yeah.
A runner?
Yeah.
A butterfly. Right here.
You can see her.
This isn't an exact science.
What? What's wrong? Is she okay?
Straight. I'm sorry.
No. No, you said it wasn't an exact science.
I'm so sorry.
Get out of my house. That was Some Days Are Better Than Others, starring Laura Baukol, myself, Jamie Haber, and directed by David Quakenbush. So right now I have David and Laura in the Zoom chat, so let's go say hi. Hello, Laura and David. How are you two today?
Hello, Swann.
Hey, Swann.
So you guys are in beautiful Colorado. I see David's got the old-timey video, and Laura there is standing on a patio somewhere with the mountains behind her. Looks fantastic. So that was 2013. It's hard to believe it was that long ago. We were doing a lot of stuff back then, right?
That was a really busy year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Laura?
Yeah, no, we did. Well, Swann, you and I have done several things, projects together, I believe, and even with David, we've been in at least 3 or 4, I think, with David. So, and that year especially was really busy with different projects. So it was fun.
Yeah, it was. We did. In fact, with David, we did another one where you reprised that same role, that same psychic role, right? And we did. I forget what the name of that was. Was it Rendezvous?
Oh, Rendezvous. Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
Rendezvous. It was like we were superhero kind of things, figuring out that we had these powers and then coming together. It was really fun.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a little bit of a different character. Although, who knows? Maybe that was the same character. It could have been, right?
Could have been.
No one said that it wasn't, or not necessarily have to be. But David, I met you on another independent film. It was actually a feature film that I met you that, you've done great work, and I've worked with you in so many projects since then. I just want to say that you have spoiled me, okay? Because I moved to Florida, and I'm not going to say there's not talent of your magnitude here. I'm just saying I haven't been fortunate enough to work with them yet. So you really, really spoiled me.
I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you. Gosh.
You're
Hey, you're a
welcome.
regular. It's like a big gap in the casting. There's no other Swann here to replace you, so it's tough.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I'll have to get back there sooner or later to work on a project together. So what was like for you guys? What was fun about this particular project? I know as we were watching it, David, you mentioned that we did a couple of things differently, like cinematically, that you had done before that, right?
There's a whole bunch of stuff that was interesting about this piece. First of all, like during this period, like the late 2012, early 2013, it was like just a crazy busy time. I think this was part of a string of production. Like I made a short a month for 4 or 5 months in a row. Just crazy, hyper busy. And so it's really an accelerated timeline, trying to figure out how to get guerrilla production to work out, rotating the crew. The unpaid projects, your crew disappears after about 18 months. You got to restaff with everybody. And so the whole ball was rolling there. I was really working on transitioning away from writing my own scripts and working with other people's text. And so this was something from Mock Sides, if you remember those guys. And to set the frame for your viewer. Yeah, there's a couple of guys, David Dalton and Chad Schnackle, had started a little business, and they wrote audition sides, and you could go to their website. I don't know if they're still in business or not. Still, I haven't seen them in a
The
long time.
website is still up. In fact, if we could put that lower third from moxides.com, just to give them some credit for that, because any actor or filmmaker who's looking for sides or is looking for, to produce a little short. I mean, basically, Laura and I got together and, we wanted something for our reels, so we just, we just get some friends together and produce it. And then, you got some beautiful looking footage for your reels. And that, I think that a scene from that or a shot or two from that is still today on my dramatic reel. So thank you for that. But you were saying, David, also about working with other people's.
Oh yeah. And so working with somebody else's text, it was, I have the feeling the Moxides guys wrote them really fast. They had a lot of scripts, and you could just download them for free if you wanted to do a scene. So it was fun to dig into that, figure out what it was about, kind of rewrite it. I think this is one of the first scripts when I really got sort of what subtext is. So I like the original was super on the nose. So I rewrote it so that it tried to be a little more implication instead of just explaining things to the audience. The flashbacks are things that I added in. Those were really fun. And I was playing with small crew, kind of one-man band approach. So I shot it too. And that was like a DSLR piece. I had the flashbacks had a weird look to them, and it was a little plastic lens. It was like a fake Holga lens we shot those with in the park. It was great. It was a lot of improvisation. I don't know. I just think it came together super well.
I agree. I think it came together very well. You also did, as we were talking earlier, great job with the sound design. Like it's just so subtle, and but it really helps to move the story forward.
Yeah, it did help with the intensity of the visions that my character was seeing, and bringing that, because obviously you didn't know what I was seeing as an actor in the scene itself. So that music just kind of helps heighten that terror that she was seeing in the images.
Yeah, it kind of, and I joke about this, like that Swann produced this, and it was meant to be kind of about him, but like the psychic character kind of stole the show.
Absolutely.
With
well, that's just because I had Swann to act off of. He's so giving as an actor. It's really easy to work with him. I always love when I have scenes with him.
But it really, like, it just sort of turned into about like just another day at work for you, and you like this emotional labor that you have to do when you show up for your job. And Swann doesn't know what's going on, but you have to relive every time whatever was happening. And I feel like that really, like, you embodied that really well. And Swann, I think, had really great reactions and performances as well. So it was, I don't know, it's an honor to work with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I feel the same way. I've always loved working with both of you.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, Laura, as an actor, I mean, I've found that, I mean, so many, I would say, up and coming actors really feel like they need to push it. They need to push it, and they need to do everything. But you and I know that, just act enough and let the filmmakers do their job, because there's so much with sound design, with camera movement, with color even, that, and music, that convey the story, convey the feel. I mean, you don't have to do it all with your face, right?
Exactly. I mean, we just have to show up and find the connection between us, and find the truth in the character that you're playing, and then just let it happen. And and then trust that the rest of the team's going to do their jobs as well. Yeah,
and that's the hard part sometimes, when I'm working on independent films. I know I've been on some where I'm doing my thing, and I'm like, this is going to come out horrible. And then when I see it, I go, yeah, I thought so. But then there have been other times where, I'm working on a set and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? That's going to look terrible. But I'm just here as an actor, so I shut up. And then when I see the final product, I'm like, oh, that's what they were doing. Okay.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So you just really need to trust in the filmmakers, and it's easy when you're working with someone like David.
Absolutely.
I'll say that. We've done quite a few. In fact, I was mentioning that on my first show, we showed another film that David directed for me with Audrey and Anna Hansen at the time. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're definitely going to bring that one back for sure. So we'll have you back to talk more about that too, Dave. But also, I wanted to just basically just you guys represent kind of the best of what I'm used to working with, and in Colorado, like Laura, with our workshop that we studied together.
Yeah.
And, you know, we really made a lot of really close connections to other actors. We became friends, and we got that that chemistry working together, you know, that you just can't, or I should say it's difficult to recreate. And, you know, being part of an ensemble cast like we were, you know, it allowed us to do that. And when I came into Florida, I was looking for something similar and really never, you know, found quite what I was looking for. So I just decided to start it myself. And, you know, for 2 years now, I've been coaching acting, and it's been going really well. You know, ever
That's
since
awesome.
COVID happened. Yeah. And ever since COVID happened, we went virtual. So it's all via Zoom now.
Yeah.
But you know, but I'm looking forward to getting back together and doing more things virtually as well. So in fact, I would invite you, Laura, to join us one day.
Yeah, I would love to.
I'll send you an invite, and you can meet the whole gang.
That'd be
But
great. But
yeah,
that's one thing I've always admired about you, Swann, is that you do sort of just make things your own, and you find a way, and you get out there and you do it, and you keep the creativity going, and you find a way to keep that passion going. And if you know aren't doing the film work like you were doing in Colorado because you just haven't met the right people yet, by doing what you're doing, you will eventually find those people that have an interest in it and have a passion for it. But I love the fact that you just keep doing it.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's tough sometimes, you know, but I just feel like, you know, why sit around waiting for opportunities to come when you can, you know, create your own.
Create your own.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think I found the dynamic in Colorado was really interesting. And I had gone back to film school late, and I think the community at film school is great because you have a lot of young people with access to gear who are willing to work for free, and they're passionate. But after a certain point, that peters out. People have to pay their mortgage, and they got to feed themselves, you know? And so it's very difficult outside of that environment as your sort of colleagues and co-conspirators begin to age and they disappear and drift off into actual jobs. It becomes harder and harder to get actual independent quality work done. Like your crew evaporates, you know, to go and re-recruit. And it's just trickier. And I think, you know, there's like a very special time. I don't know that and I'm a little bit out of the scene now, but at that point, there were a lot of people very interested in making quality production, and no one was really hung up on trying to sort of make a living. Everyone knew what it was, and we were just trying to make beautiful things together. And there wasn't any sort of like, it didn't have the burden of trying to make it a career at that moment, or trying to make a giant profit out of and no one makes a profit out of short films. It just doesn't happen. And so everybody knew what it was and what you were trying to move forward with. And I don't know, it gets more and more challenging over time as more demands are placed on the kinds of productions that you're doing.
Well, and what I liked about it too was that you got to work with really great people. I mean, I've always loved, David, your eye and the way that you see things, and your camera angles and the way that you put a film together is just so beautiful. And so the opportunity to work with that, and to work with you, and to work with a team that puts something like that together, whether it's for your reel or just to put something out there that you're really proud of, and you love the way that it looks and the way that it comes across and just everything that's in it. And that's awesome. And it was a great balance with the working work, because Swann and I were both working actors and being paid to do things and auditions. And it was a great balance to have that sort of film side of things, and then a lot of the work in Colorado at that time was commercials, and so we would have that side of things as well, and a lot of theater, and you know, we were involved in various different creative projects. But to be able to have that quality, and to work with people that could create that kind of quality, and it was so fun to do at the same time. It was just an awesome experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, I look back on those days quite fondly. Quite fondly, and still working on it. So hopefully, maybe one of these days I can make a trip back and we can rally the troops. If I could be back for a week or something, maybe we can get a little a one-day shoot or something like that.
Oh, I'm down for that. Absolutely.
There is, you know, I feel like if you study story structure, there's always a journey involved where the first act, the hero is presented with a problem and they go on a magical journey into sort of a forbidden land. And then they come back with a prize, some sort of lasting, enduring, positive change in their world. And this project gave me a lasting, enduring change. And that is knowing how to cook Swann's chicken green chili. I went into the heart of the production and I came back with this amazing recipe. And I think we cook that about twice a month here at Quakenbush.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying that. Very people. I've not actually, only people I've lived with and you, David, have I shared that with. So no one else knows that secret recipe. So
Hey, well, I need the recipe now if you're going to mention it.
well, all right, David, you can share it with her. But I want to thank you both for coming and being a part of my show and being a part of my life. Yeah, there you go, David. You're in focus now. So I want to thank you both. I know, Laura, you've got some kind of choral thing coming up. Do you have the information on that?
Yeah, so I'm participating in a virtual choir. It is going to be out on YouTube and Facebook. I was trying to communicate with the gentleman that's producing it, but I haven't heard back from him yet into exactly what channel it's going to be on. But as soon as I have that information, I will convey that to you and maybe put it in the chat for this episode as well. So that people can watch it. Yeah, we're doing the song Lean On Me, and it's to just sort of, with everything that's going on right now, knowing that there are people out there that are supporting others and there's a lot of good in this world still, so yeah.
Absolutely, looking forward to that. And David, anything you want to plug when you got the chance?
You know, I don't really have anything I want to plug. I'm sort of like a corporate guy right now. And so I got like the plugging thing is all plugged up. But the thing I'm working on right now is I'm sort of fascinated by virtual reality, and I'm trying to figure out how I can do more. Like how does cinematography apply into the VR world in a way that is meaningful and interesting? And it's technical and also severe narrative challenges. So it's fun to sort of latch onto a big problem like that and start to play with it. So.
All right, so you heard it here first, folks. Laura and I will be starring in the first VR short coming soon. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you both again for joining me today. I hope to see you guys again really soon.
Yeah, thanks, Swann, so much.
Thanks, Swann.
It's good to see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And those are my friends. And that was the SeeSwann flashback segment. Right now, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to check with Michelle, see what's going on in the chat room. Do you want to edit your own video content but don't know where to start? Well, Talk to the Camera Pros Editing Essentials Workshop has got you covered. From theory to technique, titles to transitions. This course will have you cutting, sequencing, and finishing your clips in no time. Learn the ins and outs of editing software by starting with a simple and free, easy-to-use app. You'll use this app to create a sequence of your own, where you're in control of the flow and tone. Throughout the process, you receive personalized feedback and guidance from an experienced professional. Take your first step into the exciting world of video editing with Talk to the Camera Pros Editing Essentials Workshop. Spots are limited, so sign up now. Look, I know you're not going to like this, but trust me, it's for your own good. In video conference calls, eating, chewing gum, smoking, sometimes even drinking can be a real distraction, even worse than if you were in person. Think about it. You've got a camera pointed right at your face. All right, I get it. You've been in back-to-back meetings all day and you haven't had a chance to get a bite to eat. Simply explain the situation to the participants of your meeting and let them know you're going to turn off your camera for a little while till you're done. And mute your microphone. For more tips and tricks like this, sign up for a free video conferencing class at TalkToTheCameraPro.com. And welcome back to the SeeSwann Live. I am Swann Christopher, your host. And right now, coming up, let's go take a check in with Michelle and see how the chat room's going.
That's a good question. How is the chat room going tonight? You guys are a little quiet. I'm definitely just going to come out. You see me posting all of these messages, trying to connect with you guys. I want to hear your responses. I want to hear your thoughts. We're going to throw out another example for patriotic movie titles as well. How about a little 4 Weddings and a Barbecue?
I love it.
Sounds like an event that I'd like to attend. Or how about 16 Firecrackers, you know?
Nice. These are all good choices, right?
Yeah.
And also, no one talking about the story?
Not a word.
Oh my gosh.
People, do not be afraid to voice your opinions. Do you think it might make them more comfortable if we gave just a little bit of our thoughts?
I think so.
I think nobody wants to take the first bite of food at a party.
Exactly.
So it's got to be us.
Let's do it.
All right, well, you're going to go first.
I'll go first. All right, so basically, as the story that we read, Michelle shared it in one of the chat rooms. I think it was on Facebook. And so basically, the producers of The Simpsons announced that Hank Azaria will no longer be voicing Abu, okay? As well as the actor who plays Cleveland on Family Guy and The Cleveland Show. He's actually chose to step down. So I looked at a couple other places, and it looks like Hank, it was a decision he made too, supposedly. I mean, you know, forced retirement, maybe the company asked him to do it, maybe, but regardless, personally, I mean, I know Cleveland is pretty straight, right? Pretty straightforward. He's just kind of like a nerdy kind of guy, right? But Abu, I mean, that is a very offensive character. And in fact, I think it was stated in the beginning of The Simpsons, or in the beginning of that character, like that's what they were going for. They were going for the most offensive type thing, just to like go over the top. So with that being the case, you got to think that Hank Azaria was probably, you know, I mean, he probably enjoyed the paychecks, but probably deep down inside, he was like, yeah, you know, I probably shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. You know, I mean, when I do an ethnic accent of any type, I feel a little bad, you know, like I'm, you know, making fun of it. But, you know, so I understand what's going on. I understand the decision for them to, you know, to step down. I think now's the perfect time to do it, right? I think now more than ever, people are a little more forgiving of the past, right? Because we realize that, you know, things are changing. America is becoming smarter, if you will, or just not ignoring some of the ugly things that have existed for so long. And it's kind of like, okay, so as long as you get with the program, you know, we're cool, right? So, I mean, I have nothing against anyone.
Yeah, I would think so, too. I think the element of forgiveness is important. You know, it's still very recent in our modern history. I mean, I was telling you earlier about, I have some friends in the pinup community who are doing an Instagram trend, which is modern vintage fashion, not vintage values. You know, they're emphasizing that within modern history, and it's important to remember how recent a lot of this cultural progression has been, which is shocking and disappointing, but we're still, you know, moving forward regardless. They're emphasizing the importance of that upward progression, you know, even in a setting where, you know, we're still representing the fashion of days past. And I agree with you on all your points as well about how, you know, yes, this is a character that's maybe intended to push the boundary of what is acceptable or not, but when you're playing in that field, I think if you do make the strong choice to have a character that is a racial stereotype, it is probably appropriate to have someone at least of that race kind of making fun of themselves.
Exactly. And that's how you get away with it.
Yeah, and doing so on their own terms, too. I think it's also important to bring up in this discussion before the topic goes away, you know, most roles in general are white. and that can be a problem for obvious reasons. But voice acting exemplifies and exacerbates that problem, because that now opens up more roles that can go to white actors who are maybe celebrities and have that credence behind them, which would enable them to procure that role in place of somebody who is that race. You can't really do that so much as far as live acting goes.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not right.
It wouldn't be PC these days.
Yeah, but with voice acting, like that is another avenue that could be open to somebody who is Black or Asian or any other race. And if you have the opportunity to provide that to these other actors, then why shouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Why should you take up the space that could be going to them? So
exactly, and it's not even, it wouldn't even be like artificial. It wouldn't even be or like, for example, like equal opportunity, right?
Yeah.
People, the people who are against that say like, well, why are you pushing these people? Like they get a better chance. But like, that's not even what we're talking about. We're talking about, it's an Indian character, so you put an Indian person in that role,
right.
like, so it just makes perfect sense. But I'll definitely be interested to see how the new actor handles that role,
absolutely.
and how it goes, and I mean, it'll be exciting. But yeah, so please join us in the chat room on Facebook, Swann Christopher Productions, or on YouTube at SeeSwann channel, and let us know what you think about that. So it's a really exciting topic. But now it is time for all things improv, and in the Zoom room I have Miss Frankie Spear and the Noodle Booty crew. So let's go say hi.
Hi. Hey. I'm chatting in here. I'm making comments in the chat room using my phone while on YouTube. Sorry.
So thank you very much for doing that, right? So how's everybody doing today? Miss Frankie, how you doing?
I am fantastic. I am very excited about the topic tonight. I'm really surprised there's not a lot more commentary. I was listening to the conversation, and I could have this conversation ad nauseum as a character actor and as someone who does voiceover work. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation to be had. So I hope people will get involved in the conversation and talk about it.
Well, first let me introduce everyone. We have with us, of course, Miss Veronica Tinsley, once again, and thank you both, Frankie and Veronica, for that open. It was quite enjoyable. And we also have returning once again, Mr. Sha-Ron Dean. Good to see you again.
Thank you, sir. How you doing?
Many of our viewers will recognize him from Liber Ride. And then also we have Mr. Mike Rusnak with us for the first time in Noodle Booty. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Good to be here. Great to be here.
And our viewers will recognize him from what was it? I can't remember the name of the film right now.
Survivor Guilt.
Survivor's Guilt. That's right. Thank you so much. I was unprepared for that. But anyway, it's good to see you all again. So speaking of our chat room discussion, Miss Frankie, you are a character actor, and you do a lot of different kind of ethnic, what the word I'm looking for, voices, and and in fact, do you want to tell us about one in particular, maybe?
Well, I do a lot of them. I mean, even in the opening, technically that would have been an ethnic character. So can I no longer do that voice? I do Swann, the character that Swann is referring to. I created a Trinidadian character, and the comment I put in the chat room, one of the comments was about cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation. And my character was really created. Essentially, I could not do an Irish accent. I was trying to do it. I was with a very dear friend of mine from Trinidad who said, "You sound like my cousins from Trinidad. You don't sound Irish." And I know his whole family. So I was like, really? And I kept practicing, and I sing dance hall reggae, and I have a Trinidadian character that I do. Now, there are people in Trinidad that absolutely look like me. Absolutely. There are other people, when I walk out to perform the show who just go, please let her be light skinned. Please, she must be a red bone, please. And I'm like, I'm a white girl from Jersey. But it's a character that I perform at every Trinidadian family barbecue that I'm invited to every year, the annual barbecue. And Frankie, do the song. Now, does this mean that my character becomes the property of someone else to create? So this isn't me playing a character that's historically established. It's a character I created. So can I no longer perform her? I don't know.
Well, you created the character, so.
Yep.
I don't know. I say you're good. Personally.
I'm good. But then,
I like it.
Well, going with voiceover work, okay, I did a voiceover for Merck Pharmaceutical, and they had me speak with an English accent. It was released in the European, Asian, and Latin American markets. They did not hire an English actor. They took a chick from New Jersey, by American. I was very happy for that. They let me from New Jersey do this accent, and they released it in the other market. Should I have not gotten the job? I could do the accent I could do it with the best of them. I got paid to do it, but it's hard because one of the other comments I made in the chat room, as an artist, I'm not a fan of traditional casting. Never have been. Even before there wasn't a term for it, I've never been a fan. I'm like, if you're the best fit for this role, that's what I want it to be. Now, sometimes in plays, because of certain storylines, you may have to be very specific about, I need this type of actor. I need that type. I need tall, short, brown, white, Asian, Indian, whatever. But it's hard because you think of the successful non-traditional casting of Hamilton. Let's look at that. Now, does that mean Hamilton can no longer be performed? Oh, controversial bomb.
Right. Whoa, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, a Puerto Rican playing Hamilton.
Is Lin-Manuel going to stop doing that? Like, I hope not. I hope not. Brilliant story, but it's again, where's the line? How do you find the line?
Things that make you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And well, I would love to get into to do some improv now, but I want to give anyone else a chance to chime in on that if they wanted to. Once, twice.
Yes.
All right. So let's get to some improv, Frankie. That's what we came here for. I cut you guys off, you and Veronica, last week. I felt so bad about that. So Sha-Ron and Mike came to defend your honor, and you know what? In fact, I think since there's four of you, do you need me? Do you want me to hang out? Do you want to?
Of course I do. Why would I not want to see Swann on SeeSwann Live?
All right, let's do this.
Always need an audience.
I'm not warmed up, but we'll skip the warm up and I'll catch up. I know you guys have been warming up. So Frankie, take it away.
Okay. Well, tonight, boys and girls, we're going to bring you a new game tonight. This is called a character switch. What's going to happen is you will have one actor establish a character. They'll give it definition. They'll give you a little storyline. When I yell switch, another actor will assume that character and continue the story as that character. I'll yell switch, another person will jump in. It's always just the one character, but all the different actors will be portraying that character. Make sense? Everybody's got it? There's no alphabet gimmick or anything. So I'm going to give you guys an order because we're on Zoom. It makes it easier to have the order. So the order will go. Swann, I know you're not warmed up, but I bet you could warm up in a monologue, baby. I bet you could. So, see, that's an improv artist. Yes, and I can do this. That's how you do that.
And I can rock it.
Yes, you can. All right, so Swann will start us. Then we will have Mike. Then it will go to Ronnie. Then Sha-Ron. Then back to Swann. I'm going to stay out of this one so I can watch the clock. I might jump in for the second round, but this round I'm going to stay out. So everybody has their order. Swann, Mike, Ronnie, Sha-Ron. Okay? So, and to get us started, I will give you an activity of pet grooming. That's your activity. So, lights down, lights up.
Oh man, here I am. I mean, I don't know a thing about pet grooming, right? I'm supposed to. My cousin, he's got this truck that he does the shampoo and blow dry and cut the dog's hair and stuff, and he's sick, so someone's got to cover, right? So I said, I got it, I got you. So here I am trying, I got this lady's dog. I went to the house, I got the dog, I got it in here. I don't know if it's a poodle, a schnauzer, or what. I don't know a dang thing about dogs. But here I am, and I just look, dog. Don't look at me like that, okay? It's you and me. We're gonna get through this, right? Okay. So first, I'm just gonna take the water here and just wash it. Wait, no, don't move. Stay right there. Yeah, hold on. All right, wait, hold on. I'm gonna get the water on you. All right, there you go. Nice. Yeah, there you go, puppy. Good boy. We're just gonna get, and now I'm gonna get some shampoo.
Get some great stuff to put on you over here. Make you smell better than you did too. Whew. You were stinky. Yeah. The only problem with this thing is which hand is which? Oh, okay, there you go. Sorry, I couldn't tell. I really couldn't. They looked about the same out there. You look like a drowned rat. You know that? Well, let me get out my little blower out here and gonna fluff you.
Gonna get your hair all fluffed up and make you all pretty so you can be clean. Your owner wanna hug you again and kiss you and let you sit on her furniture and whatnot. Yeah, man, you really, oh man, you.
This is gonna be so pretty, and oh my God, Landy, it's cold. Oh my God, did you just crap on my floor, dog? What the heck is going on? Oh man, does anybody have any Kleenex around here? I gotta pick up this crap. All right, let's just make sure this is all nice. I am getting paid for this, so just please don't shake. Please don't do any more, all right? Please just keep it.
And switch.
Keep it simple, all right? Because I don't need any more of that crap here. Listen, you dog, whatever you are, schnauzer or whatever. I mean, first of all, you come here. I mean, I bring you here. I know I brought you here. Okay, you didn't come here, and you don't want to be here any more than I want to be here. Okay, so just cut the crap. All right, no more crap.
All right, enough of poo-poo here. Let me get this thing picked up over here. Oh God, what did you eat?
Man, it smells like burnt fries.
Oh God, and chili. What the heck did they feed this dog? Man, dogs
come from some kind of weird place. I mean, just what the heck? Are they feeding you like old leftover Indian curry or something? I mean, just what was that? I mean, just like, oh man, are you just eating raw garlic? Is that what you're thinking?
That ain't no kibble and bits, I'll tell you. Look at it. Look at this. This terrible. Oh man. Oh God. It's making.
We have got to stop feeding you human food because it is messing up your bowels real bad, man. Oh my.
All right, good. We're almost wrapped up. Just let me just dry you off, okay? So I can get this smell out of my car.
I cannot have this smell up in here. And what are you doing? Wait, what? No, don't start humping me. What are you doing? Cut that out.
And the scene. As soon as dogs start humping, party's over.
Party's over.
Good thing, yes.
All right. So that was a little character switch. Let's give that another go round, shall we? I think we can. You guys can bust it out.
Sure.
You gonna join us for this one?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes, hey, would you like me to do the switch? Maybe I could sit this one out and just kind of watch.
Is that what you would like to do?
Yes, and
yes, and that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for offering.
All right.
Our face is extremely red right now. Oh my God.
Yes, it is. It's just your freckles.
Mm-hmm.
But what should we get a suggestion? Should I try and get a suggestion from the audience?
If you can, yes.
We probably won't have one in time. So
correct.
Yeah. So all right. So we want an activity.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's the activity of making biscuits.
Making biscuits. Okay.
Making biscuits.
And I'll open it. And it'll go, did you just make a face, Ronnie? Did you want to make a biscuit? I see everything. As soon as I said I'll open it, I saw Ronnie go. You watch the tape later, you're gonna see it too. Ronnie, would you like to do the monologue?
No. Oh.
She's not doing it. See what happens.
It was supposed to be yes and I'm sorry.
Okay. So making biscuits, and the order will go, it'll go Frankie, Sha-Ron, Ronnie, Mike. So Frankie, Sha-Ron, Ronnie, Mike. Okay?
Cool.
And making biscuits. That's the suggestion. Okay, making biscuits. Okay, you can give us the lights down, lights up, Mike. Oh man.
I gotta get my timer ready. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm like, why did I say I would go first?
I'm enjoying it. All right, so you ready? Lights down. Lights up.
Okay. Here we are. I'm so excited. I have waited my whole life to work in the Sunshine Bakery, don't you know? So here I am. It is my very first day. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. I am here. I have my special apron on. It's very special. My grandmother made it for me. It's just delightful. Do you notice the ribbing stitching? Isn't it nice? So here I am, me, Anna Louise May Fairy Fan. Here I am. I'm so excited to be here. So, you know, I'm going to be here in the factory. I'm going to be making biscuits. I'm so excited. I've got my flour all around me. I've got my flour. I've got my sugar. I've got my baking soda and just a pinch of salt, because that makes it fun, you know, and it makes it good for you. It gives you high blood pressure, because when you're soaking your biscuits in gravy, you want a little extra high blood pressure.
And along with my baking, I got my salt. Also got my eggs too. My eggs make it real good, make it good, just as Popeye's biscuits. That's my goal. Make it better than Popeye's biscuits. All I need right now is my friendly water bottle. Okay, and just you smiling at me makes me feel even better. Okay, so we're gonna add it all together: the eggs, the sugar, the yeast,
the flour. We're going to make the best buttermilk biscuits you've ever tasted in your life, better than Popeyes, better than KFC. It's going to be the #1 biscuit in the world. We're going to wipe those other businesses off the map. All right, look, come on, pass me the salt, pass me the sugar, you pass me the flour. Yes, we're going to do this, and we're going to make it really big too. Big.
Switch.
And I'm gonna whisk and I'm gonna whisk around out there, get nice and fluffy. Fluffy. I like fluffy biscuits. Get the flour really going to it. Ooh, look at how nice that looks. Look, see that? Oh, that's delicious. So we're gonna take this thing and we're gonna make the best biscuits ever. Just the most absolutely wonderful, marvelous biscuits. Look at these things. Oh, look at how they're gonna be so beautiful when we pull them out of this thing here, lay them on there and start cutting them out. You'll love our biscuits. They're gonna taste so good.
They taste just like fairy dust. Yes, they do. It's a secret family recipe I've been making for years. And you know, sometimes I think we use flies and not fairies, but as long as the masters think it's fairy dust, that's the best. So once you have everything all mixed together, then you're going to start.
And they taste so good, but oh no, I think I missed the ingredients. I forgot to put my mom's secret recipe, the cinnamon. That's what makes it sparkle. Oh, can somebody give me some cinnamon, please? Okay, we got to start this all over again from scratch. All right. Put the oven on 350.
Switch.
And then once it's preheated, yes, then I can go ahead and add my sample of biscuits, 12 biscuits at a time inside the oven. I put it in the oven.
And then down there, I'm gonna roll the stuff out here. Get the dough out nice and knead the dough. I need dough. I love kneading dough. The dough needs us. It needs to be kneaded.
Need it all the time. I need it here. I need it in the bakery. I need it all the time. I need butter. I need eggs. I need a lot of things.
Oh, and there goes my dog eating my biscuits again. What did I tell you? Calvin, sit down on the floor. Don't eat the biscuits. No! Stop.
Switch.
stop. No, it's not good for you. I didn't make it right. It's disgusting. Oh my God, it's gonna make you poop. I didn't put the famous ingredient.
Switch.
And we just gave it to the poor guy out there who's going to be he's going to make you all pretty and out there. You go out there with after eating all that stuff there. What are you going to do to that poor guy out there? Oh my God, I just can't figure it out.
Instead, I've decided to just take the dog and put it in the biscuits. When the puppy eats the biscuit, you can just take the puppy, put it in the blender, and put it in your biscuits. End scene.
And scene for sure. Yeah. Puppy in the biscuits.
Right.
You know it's time to end the scene when the puppy ends up in the biscuits. Nice job.
The words of Frankie Spears are hers and hers only.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, all ASPCA people, don't complain to my show. You contact Frankie Spear. No, that is improv at its finest. It's, as Frankie has taught me, it's accepting the absurd.
Correct.
Right? I mean, yes,
Living
puppies
to
in the biscuits.
The absurd reality. Well, the dog, I like the throwback to the dog, Sha-Ron, because we were just watching him earlier, so I felt it was the same little creature that we could not tell the end of. So I like how he came into our news story. That was kind of cool. So he had to die because he was trying to upstage us. So the puppy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, so everyone at home.
Dog biscuits, right?
There you go, dog biscuits. So for everyone, if you're interested in playing with us, we do have, just go to talktothecamerapro.com and check out one of our free introduction to our workshop where we, among other things, have a lot of fun with some improv, right? It's a very important skill for any actor to know, whether you're doing it for the sake of improv, for the sake of being funny, whatever, like that's all well and good. But any actor, even working in scripted work, it's so much benefit from just practicing improv, just doing it, right? Even if it's not in front of people, even if it's in a private thing. In fact, we also could offer, if you go to our website, private parties, right? So Miss Frankie and I could show up and, you know, have a Zoom with your friends, and we could do a little virtual happy hour thing there and have some fun with games like this. So once again, I want to thank Frankie, Veronica, Sha-Ron, Mike. I want to thank you all for coming out. It was been a pleasure, and I hope to see at least some of you again next week.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Swann.
Do you know something we don't know? Wait, what do you guys know?
Well, not everyone's here every week. That's all. Not everyone's here every week.
Shots fired.
All right, guys. Love you. See you
Love
guys
you
later.
too. All right, take care, man.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
So that was, oh, I shouldn't take this out of my ear. Okay. Yeah, so that was, once again, All Things Improv with Miss Frankie Spear and Noodle Booty. So at this point, I think we have a break coming up, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to our second break right now. And when we come back, we'll check in with the chat room. Do you want people looking up your nose while you're speaking? Is this thing on? Can you see me okay? We don't want to see that either. Way too many times I've seen people with bad camera angles. Either I'm looking up their nose or watching them from the side. Hi, Swann. How you doing? Are you supposed to be talking to me? Do yourself a favor. Put your webcam near the monitor you're looking at, and preferably right at eye level. This is too low. This is too high. And this is just right. For more tips and tricks like this, sign up for a free video conferencing class at talktothecamerapro.com. Do you want to edit your own video content but don't know where to start? Well, Talk to the Camera Pro's Editing Essentials Workshop has got you covered. From theory to technique, titles to transitions. This course will have you cutting, sequencing, and finishing your clips in no time. Learn the ins and outs of editing software by starting with a simple and free, easy-to-use app. You'll use this app to create a sequence of your own, where you're in control of the flow and tone. Throughout the process, you receive personalized feedback and guidance from an experienced professional. Take your first step into the exciting world of video editing with Talk to the Camera Pros Editing Essentials Workshop. Spots are limited, so sign up now. And welcome back to the SeeSwann Live. I am Swann Christopher, your host, and I am still joined with Michelle, who's our chat room Cygnet. Michelle, so we've got some, I understand we've got some chatter going on the news story, huh?
A little bit, but it's mostly my chatter. It's a lot of me talking to myself. Oh, but thank you, Frankie. She actually just said, loving this chat room conversation, excellent topic, absolutely worthy of exploring. And Frankie, I could not agree more. I think this is a very multi-layered discussion. I would love to see you guys, not just in our chat, take this home with you. Take the opportunity, talk about it with your friends, get some opinions, and just, raise some awareness and get people thinking.
Absolutely. But what was some of you mentioned earlier some comments that people had? Let's hear them.
Yeah. Well, I had said a few things on the topic. I said, for one, I think it's important to proceed with respect no matter what. I think that's a general rule to apply to any kind of interaction you're having in life. Gani agrees with me. Gani Emmett says respect is very important, I would say. So thank you, Gani, for that. It Feels Good Entertainment, meanwhile, says, but I feel in this day and age, no matter the approach, you will offend someone performing an ethnicity that's not yours, which in itself is a topic worthy of discussion. Do you think that's true?
Well, like I said earlier, anytime I do it, I feel a little guilty, right? So there's got to be something to that, I mean, our guilt is supposed to be our guardian angel, if you will, if you're religious, but it's definitely the it tells you what's right and what's wrong. And if it just doesn't feel right, then maybe you shouldn't, Yeah,
we just got another great comment from Frankie. She says context is key. And I definitely, and she says you can't please everyone.
No, you definitely can't.
I agree. Context is important. I made the distinction. Does the plot or does something major about that character connect to their ethnicity? I think that's an important line as well. You can't do an all-white Hairspray, but you could cast race blind in something that is not so dependent on race as a factor within the plot. I'm trying to think of other shows. Urinetown. I just did Urinetown. You could do a race blind Urinetown. Everything within the plot is dependent on the outside factors. It doesn't have to do with the race of the characters, whereas, Hairspray, the other example, would.
Well, yeah, that's definitely, but yeah. So, all right, so, we had some discussion, and it was a good one. I think we made some points, and, hopefully people will continue, because, I mean, the chat room is never going to end, right? This video is going to last forever on YouTube, so go ahead and write in the comments section, even if you're not watching live. Let us know what you think about this topic, and who knows, 10 years from now, it'll be interesting to look back at those comments and see where we've progressed and where we are and,
Absolutely.
How things have gone, right? Because, 10 years ago, you told me that what's going on now would be going on. I'd be like, I wouldn't have believed it, But, it's happening. So we didn't have many, if any, entries for the chat room challenge. So, hey, more money in my pocket, right? I get to keep that. So, once again, we were offering a free Amazon gift card as well as a month in my acting workshop, but we didn't have anyone clever enough to come up. I came up with a list. What was some of the other ones I gave you?
You also gave me, I read out 3 of them. You also gave me A Nightmare on Pennsylvania Avenue. And I think you have some more on that list.
I have a bunch.
Pretty extensive.
Friday the 4th. Star Wars, The Force Awakens. But I might have said that already, right? We did Revolutionary War. America Jones and the Temple of Trump. That's one of my favorites. And another one, I'm trying to find one that did I mention Nightmare on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Yeah, A Nightmare on Pennsylvania Avenue, folks. That is, some people would argue that there is a nightmare on Pennsylvania Avenue right now, but we're not going to get into that. But it is already past 8 o'clock. Michelle, thank you again so much for joining me this week. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to have you back again soon.
Thank you, Swann. I hope to be back.
Lovely. All right, so now it is time for my final words. So as you know, every week I like to give a little wisdom, and today it's definitely opinion-based. And I've got a little cheat sheet here because this is a tough one. I want to make sure I don't misspeak here. So basically, this weekend, our country is about to celebrate our Independence Day. And there are some people out there that believe we have nothing to celebrate, okay? I am not one of those people. I love this country, okay, first of all. And one of the things I love about this country is the fact that the Founding Fathers made it in such a way that if you don't like it, you can change it, okay? America is not perfect. It may not even be the greatest country on earth. I'm not going to argue that. But it's a country that if you're not happy with it, you can change it. And if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of change going on right now, okay? For example, monuments of traitors are coming down. A flag that was made popular by segregationists and used to intimidate those who would oppose segregation is coming down. America is waking up and admitting that some of the things that were acceptable before are no longer acceptable, all right? We just need to really call it for what it is. So I say we have a good reason to celebrate, all right? Now more than ever, things are changing. I'm hopeful that out of all of this unrest, we will be a more perfect union. Like, once again, our Founding Fathers on the Great Seal, they put a pyramid, an unfinished pyramid with no top, because we're still building it, still creating it. So in the idea of that, or in that fashion, in that spirit, if you will, the spirit of 76, if you will, or I will be wearing red, white, and blue this 4th of July. I got red, white, and blue tie on right now, but yes. So I will not be wearing all black. I will be wearing red, white, and blue. I will wear it for those who came before me, those of my ancestors who built this country, those of my ancestors who came to this country freely, seeking a better life for themselves and their family. I do it for them. I do it for Crispus Attucks, who was the first person, an African-American man, who was killed at that riot known as the Boston Massacre, which started the American Revolution. So for them, I will be wearing red, white, and blue, and you can do what you want to do because it's a free country. And I don't care who's in the White House. I'm proud to be an American. My name is Swann Christopher, and I thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on SeeSwann on YouTube.